Well, hi again, everybody. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. We have the White Sox of the Yankees, New York, holding on to a game-and-a-half lead over both the Red Sox and the Indians here in late May. And it's Don Wheeler up there for Chicago. Takes a strike from Bob Porterfield. Porterfield had decided to start. There were a couple of guys that could have started. He had the best-looking ERA out of all of them. And there's a strike two as Wheeler swings through that 1-0-2 is the count. That one just misses. 1-2 now the count on Wheeler, and here comes Porterfield, and that's hit over to Coleman at second base. Makes a play and throws to first for the out, one away. Gus Zernial up there now, and he takes a strike. 0-1 the count on him. White Sox not playing all that well. Yankees still in first place. Not much of a surprise there. 0-2 now the count quickly on Zernial, and there's a ground ball over to the right side, and it's Tommy Henrich grabbing that one. Flips over to Porterfield, covering the bag for the out, 2 away. Gordon Goldsberry now. Gordon takes the strike, 0-1 the count on him, and there's one hit to the gap in left center field, and it's going to be Mapes running after that one, and he goes after it and grabs that one for the out. And we go to the bottom of the first inning. Hank Bauer will lead this off. I've already heard the whining and I don't know if whining is the best word for it, but some of the complaints and the comments in the comment section about leading off power hitters. But I like the guys who get on base, and some of these guys do, as does Hank Bauer. 2-0 the count now on Bauer. Swings and misses at that one. It's 2-1. He's facing Bill White. 2-2 as he swings and misses at that one. White not exactly having a poor year, but the 1-5 record really tells you what the White Sox have been like so far. He just misses with that one, and it's a full count now on Bauer. Pitch now comes into Bauer, and that one misses, and so Bauer with the lead-off walk, and that'll bring up Jerry Coleman. Now you know why we have those guys hitting at the top of the lineup. Of course, you have a lineup like the 49 Yankees. It doesn't really matter where you put any of these guys. They're pretty good. Jerry Coleman up there now takes the ball, 1-0 the count now. Bauer remains on first, and there's a strike to him. It's 1-1 now on Jerry. Throw to first base. We're not doing anything, not this early, and there's a little looper over there to left field, and that's in front of Zernial for a base hit. We're going to hold Bauer at second with that ball right in front of him in shallow left. Runners on at first and second now, and here comes Tommy Henrich, and we'll have him go ahead and swing away. There's a curveball high to Tommy, 1-0 the count. And that's way upstairs, 2-0. So White having some problems finding the strike zone here. 11 pitches, only 4 strikes, and that's off the plate for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Now here comes the big question about Diamond Mine Baseball in this situation. Do you have him swing away or have him take it? We're going to have him take. And he takes that curveball for a strike. 3-1 now the count on Henrich. That's popped up foul, full count now on Tommy, and that pitch is just wide, and Henrich lays off of that one. Second walk given up in the inning by Bill White, and that brings up Gene Woodling with the bases loaded and nobody out here at the bottom of the first. The Yankees about to blow this one open. And there's a curveball high to Woodling. 1-0 the count. And there's one hit over to right center field. And that is Scala running after that one. He's not going to be able to get to that one. That one bounces in there. That's going to be a single for Woodling. Scores 2. And Henry goes all the way over to third base. And that'll bring up Cliff Mapes. So the Yankees get on the board early. 2-0 here, Bob in the first. And here is Mapes. Mapes lines that one down the left field line. It's going to be another base hit. And that scores 1. Woodling to third. Mapes tries to stretch that one into a double. And he is thrown out at second base. A good throw by Zernial. Not with the best arm in the world, and it's Cass Michaels making the tag. And so there you had Cliff Mapes and Cass Michaels going after it against each other. Those are two of our famous blog heroes. If you haven't been around long, if you're new here, you might want to know that. Yogi Berra up there now takes the ball. Want to know the count. That's a strike in there. 1-1 now the count on Berra. Chopped over to second base. We're going to have Woodling try to score, and we do pick up the run as Michaels goes to first with it, 2 away. Now 4-0 Yankees, bottom of the first, and here's the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. I'm supposed to be leading him off, but everybody else is a better on-base percentage. 2-0 the count now on Scooter, and there's a little ground ball over to Michaels at second. He kind of throws down as he throws that, as it falls down as he throws it. Makes the play at first for the out. We go to the top of the second, and it's going to be Luke Appling for the White Sox, and he lines the first pitch he sees right back up the box past Porterfield and through the hole in the middle of the field for a base hit. Runner on at first base for Chicago, and it's Cass Michaels. Michaels hitting only .237, a little bit disappointing. 2-0 is the count on him now. 308 was his average in real life. Of course, he has a lot of time to make that up. 2-1 the count. Michaels was an all-star in real life in 1949. Not going to be an all-star this year. If we do have an all-star game, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do about that, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. 3-1 the count now on Michaels. It's foul back. Full count now on Cass. And that's just outside, and that's a walk. So Porterfield giving up his first walk. As you know, and I've said this before, the one weakness that these Yankees have is giving up those bases on balls. Floyd Baker up there now fouls one back for a strike and takes a ball. 1-1 the count. And that's just low tune when the count. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that. Story of my life. Another appointment to confirm. Runners first and second now, and Floyd Baker takes ball 3. So 3-1 the count on him now. Baker not exactly the best hitter in the world, but when you're on this team, it doesn't really matter, does it? And he lines the next one up the middle for a base hit, and that's going to load the bases. That one goes right by Porterfield, and just like that, the White Sox now with the bases loaded, top of the second, down 4-0, and nobody out. That'll bring up Earl Rapp. We're going to play the infield back and just look for this double play. We'll give up a run. And up comes Rapp hitting 294, and he fouls one back. 0-1 is the count. There's a ball. That one gets a little bit loose, but Barry able to pounce on that one. 1-1 the count now in Rapp. And there's one lined over to second base, and Coleman jumps up and grabs that one for the out, and all the runners have to hold. I'm surprised that nobody was trying to cheat off the bag a little bit. Very good play by Jerry Coleman, and that's the first out, one away. And here's Jerry Scala, and Porterfield might be able to get out of this one. Scala hitting 179, takes a strike, and misses. That ball misses. 1-1 the count. And there's that's going to be a wild pitch there as Berra gets behind that one, bounces off his chest protector. That one rolls over to the dugout. Berra kind of gets away with that one, I suppose, and Porterfield not exactly the best pitch in the world, and that will allow the run to score. Michaels Baker move up a base. It's 4-1. Scala's still up there and fouls one back. 2-2 now the count on Jerry, and there's a little line drive just past Rizzuto short for a base hit. That'll score one. Baker moves to third base, and Scala ends up on first base, and it's a 4-2 ball game. Bill White, the pitcher, up there, swings and misses a 1, and then takes the ball wide. 1-1 the count. Fly ball over to the right field line, and that one is curving and just foul. Coleman unable to grab that one. Foul. It lands. 1-2 the count. There's a sinker low. 2-2. And White swings and misses at that one for a strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Bob Porterfield. 2 away, rather. Don Wheeler up there now. Takes the ball outside. 1-0 now the count to Wheeler. And there's a swing and a miss. 1-1 is the count. That's fouled off of Barrow, the catcher. 1-2. And there's a ball. 2-2 the count. It's just outside. Full count now on Wheeler. And he fouls that one just out of play. Full count remains, and there's a slider that's too low. Porterfield has walked 2 in this inning, got the one strikeout, which was White, and the bases are loaded again, this time for Gus Zernial. And so we had the bottom of the order up here, and all of a sudden we're back to the top. Zernial takes a strike, 0-1 the count, and there's a good slider off the outside edge. It's 0-2. That's in the dirt. 1-2 now the count on Zernial. And there's a little ground ball over to Coleman, and he runs over to he charges that one. Sorry, grabs it, throws over to first base as quick as he can, and that'll do it to retire the side. So the White Sox end up with 2 runs, and they're back in this ball game. 4-2 now the score, and we have Bobby Brown here leading off the bottom of the second. And there's a ball in there to Brown. 1-0 the count. Swings and misses. That one is 1-1. There's a little line over first base, just foul. 1-2 now the count on Bobby, and he hits that one over straight to center field. Scala's got that for the out, easy, 1 away. And here's Bob Porterfield. Swings and misses a 1, takes the strike 2 in the outside corner, 0-2 the count. Fouls 1 away, still 1-2, and there is a pitch inside, and Porterfield claims he gets hit by that one, and he actually does. This is a little bit of a rare play. Usually the modus operandi for Diamond Mine Baseball, when you see this, is it will say that wasn't even close to hitting him or something to that effect. But this is one of those rare occasions where we actually do see him get hit by the pitch. So we'll go ahead and save a little bit of play-by-play for that one so that we can use that one a little bit later. Hank Bauer now with the pitcher. Porterfield on at first, and he fouls one away. 0-1 the count. Blasts the one down the left field line. Just foul. 0-2 now the count on Bauer. And there's a little ground ball, or liner, over to the right side. Michaels snatches that one out of the air for the second out. 2 away, and it's Jerry Coleman. Coleman had that hit earlier today, and he takes a strike. 0-1 the count now on Jerry. That's low. It's 1-1 now on Coleman. Throw over to first base. Nothing doing. We're not going anywhere with Porterfield. It's a ridiculous throw to first. 2-1 the count now on Coleman. And 3-1 as White misses again. And there's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Full count now on Coleman. And there's a pop foul down the right field line. Nobody able to get there. Count remains full. It's a breaking ball hit well to the left field line, I believe. Yep, but just foul again. Second one that White has gotten away with. Coleman, that right-handed hitter, is trying to pull that one. And there's a line drive over to right field for a base hit, and we're going to keep Porterfield there at second base. There's no need to play it fast and loose with the pitcher. That'll bring up Tommy Henrich now. Runners on at first and second, 2 outs, bottom of the second, 4-2 Yankees. Henrich takes the ball, 1-0 the count. There's fouled off. It's 1-1 now on Henrich. And Old Reliable takes one wide, 2-1 the count. There's one popped up just out of play, 2-2 now the count on Tommy. That fastball's low. Full count again. White has been going the distance with a number of these pitchers, or a number of these hitters, sorry, and the pitch count really shows it here. 49 pitches here, and there's a little chopper over to third base. It's Baker who has it, throws over to Goldsberry first for the out. We go to the top of the third, so the Yankees able to once again load the bases. They're bottom of the second, but nothing happens. Goldsberry up there now, 1-1 the count on him, and gets a little ground ball over to Brown. Bobby makes the play, throws over to first for the out, 1 away. Luke Appling now. Appling takes a slider for a ball off the plate. Then foul, tips one off the end of the bat. 1-1 the count, and that one is lifted up and foul. 1-2 the count on Luke. That one is just inside 2-2. And there's a little ground ball over to Henrik. The first baseman grabs it, goes to the bag himself for the out, 2 away. It's Cass Michaels. Michaels stays away from that first one for a ball, and then hits a little ground ball over to Coleman at second base, who makes the play and throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the third, just like that. Gene Woodling up there now. And he takes a strike, 0-1, and fouls one off. White now ahead, 0-2. I think it's the first time he's been ahead like this all game. 1-2 now as that breaking ball missed. And boy, White had him way out in front of that one, and there's not much Woodling could do with that one. He bounces that one over to Michaels for the easy play, second to first, 1 away, and it's Cliff Mabes. Mabes takes the ball low, 1-0 the count. There's a curveball high and outside, 2-0 the count now to Cliff, and he swings and misses that one, 2-1 the count. That's fouled away, 2-2. That's chopped over to the left side, and it's going to be Appling who makes that play. Throws the first for the out, 2 gone. Yogi Berra up there now, and he chases that curveball. 0-1 the count, and that's a fastball outside. 1-1 the count now. Good pitch that just misses. 2-1 the count on Berra. And there's a little ground ball over to Goldsberry, and over to the pitcher, White, who throws to Goldsberry for the out. We go to the top of the fourth. Floyd Baker up there now for the White Sox, who fouls one back. And then hits a ground ball over to Jerry Coleman. Second baseman has that, goes to first for the out, 1 away. Earl Rapp now hits it again to Coleman, who goes to first with it. 2 gone, just like that. Jerry Scala up there takes a ball. Another ball inside. 2-0 the count now on Jerry, and that was inside again. 3-0 the count. There's the strike. 3-1 now the count on Jerry. And he swings and misses that curve out in front of it. Full count, and he pops the next one up over to Coleman for the out, and nothing doing for the White Sox there. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Yankees coming back up, and that's kind of the way the White Sox have been playing. A lot of their games have been off camera. You haven't seen many of them, but this is par for the course for the Chicago White Sox in 1949. Phil Rizzuto takes a ball, 1-0 the count on him. Another ball not quite over the plate, 2-0 the count. That backs him up, 3-0 the count on Rizzuto. There's the fat strike in there, 3-1 now the count on Phil. And there's one way outside, so Rizzuto gets the free pass. He's on at first base. You know we're going to try to run with him. Only a 4-2 lead here, bottom of the fourth inning. It's about time to do that. 18 stolen bases in real life against 6 times caught, and here in the replay, 6 stolen bases against 3. So let's see what we can do. I clicked hit and run, of course, and we probably don't want to hit and run with Bobby Brown, who fouls the first pitch off. 0-1 the count now on Bobby. That's inside. 1-1 now the count. Rizzuto almost picked off on that one and able to make it back. 1-1 the count, and there goes Rizzuto, and he is safe. He's there ahead of that throw, and that's steal number 7 for him. Runner now on at second base. That was called a strike, though, to Brown, and so 1-2 is now the count on Bobby. But there's nobody out. There's a little fly ball over to Rapp in right field. He's got that one for the out. 1 away. We're not going to try to have Rizzuto go to second base with 1 out, and that'll bring up Bob Porterfield, who's going to bunt. Porterfield up there now turns and squares that one and misses it. 0-1 the count on him. There's a bunt back to the pitcher, White, and White goes to third with that one, and Rizzuto is a dead duck as that one goes over to Appling covering at third base, and Porterfield ends up making first. That's an awful, awful bunt by the pitcher. And now there's 2 outs, and there's a runner on at first base. Here comes Hank Bauer again. Bauer 0 for 1 with that walk, scored a run. And a couple throws to first. I'm not sure what they're thinking. There's a strike in there to Bauer, 0-1 the count. That's a line between first and second. It's going to be a base hit. We're going to play it safe again with Porterfield. Porterfield been on base 2 times so far in this ballgame, had the walk, and then that fielder's choice. And a lot of adventures out there for him. Here comes Jerry Coleman. Now, it's Diamond Mine Baseball, so he's not going to get some sort of disadvantage for being on the base. 1-1 is the count to Coleman. He hits a ground ball over to Cass Michaels, who makes the play. Throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 5th. Bill White now. It's a fly ball over to Mapes in center field for the first out. 1 away. Don Wheeler takes the ball. And that one misses again. 2-0 the count. Wheeler, 3-0 the count on him, hitting .343. Good season so far. Takes a strike. 3-1 the count now on Don. And there's a ground ball over to the scooter at short. Makes the play and throws to first for the out. 2 away. It's Gus Zernial. Zernial takes the ball down and in. 1-0 the count on him. Fouls 1 away. 1-1. That's hit well over to center field, but of course, as we know, it's an airport out there, and that's going to be Cliff Mapes making that catch for the out, and we'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Tommy Henrik comes up there. Henrik takes a strike, 0-1 the count, and that's lined towards first base foul. It's 0-2 now on Tommy, and he swung and missed at what was going to be the first ball, and that's one away. Here comes Gene Woodling. Woodling takes the ball, 1-0 the count, and fouls one back. 1-1 the count now on Gene. That's ball 2, 2-1. That's line down the first base line, and that is just foul. So Woodling getting around on that one, definitely. 2-2 the count. That's line down the right side, and that is past Goldsberry. He's able to straighten that one out, and that's a base hit. Woodling, though, only able to make it as far as first base. That'll bring up Cliff Mapes with a runner on at first base. Woodling, not the fastest runner in the world. And Mapes comes up there, takes a ball high, 1-0 the count. There's a throw to first, nothing happening. 1-0 at the pitch there. 2-0 as that one was low. That's fouled back. 2-1 now the count on Mapes. Throw to first base, again, nothing doing. There's a line drive over to left center field, and that's going to be in there for a base hit. Woodling ends up going around third base, and he will score without a throw. Mapes gets a double from that one. It's a hanging curveball by White. White with 90 pitches here at bottom of the fifth inning. It's 5-2 Yankees, and that'll bring up Yogi Berra. That's the problem with this lineup for opposing teams. There's no place to hide. Berra hits a ground ball over to Appling. Poor at bat by Berra. Mapes unable to move up. Appling makes the play at first base, 2 away, and it's Phil Rizzuto. Rizzuto 0 for 1 so far today. Takes the ball. He has that stolen base after that walk. 2-0 the count now on Rizzuto. And there's a little flare into left field. That one drops in front of Zernial for a base hit, and that will score the quick Mapes, and that makes it a 6-2 ball game. That'll bring up Bobby Brown again. You're probably wondering what Rizzuto is doing hitting this low in the order. You know the way that I like to do it. I like looking at OPS and organizing them that way. And Rizzuto, not quite with the OPS that he wants to have. There's a strike in there to Brown, 0-1 the count. And that one is high. 1-1 the count, runner's delight. And that is high, 2-1. This is really runner's delight. This is the time you run. There goes Rizzuto, and he is in there with a stolen base, as that pitch was there for a strike. So 2 steals in this ball game for Phil, 8 on the season. He's already halfway to his total of 16 in real life, and Brown's still up there now, 2-2 the count. And he bloops that one over to left field, and that one is in between Appling and Zernial for a base hit, and the fast Rizzuto scores easily. It's a 7-2 ball game. This was a close game at one point in time, wasn't it? And here comes Bob Porterfield. Bob up there now, takes one high, 1-0 the count. And there's a strike to him, 1-1. And that's on the outer edge for a strike. 1-2 the count now on Bob, and that's in the dirt, 2-2 now the count. There's strike 3 in the outer half, and he will go and sit down, and we go to the top of the 6th. Gordon Goldsberry up there now for the White Sox, down 7-2. Not necessarily out of reach as the count goes to 1-1 on Goldsberry. There's a fly ball over to right field. Bauer has that for the out. 1 away. Luke Appling up there now, and he takes a strike, a changeup in there, 0-1, and that's in the outside corner. Quickly 0-2. Porterfield getting ahead of him real quick. 0-2 the count remains. That's inside for a ball. 1-2 the count now on Appling, and that's high, 2-2. Ground ball over to third base. Brown has that one, throws to first for the out, 2 away, and it's Cass Michaels who takes the strike. Porterfield looks good, but the White Sox aren't very good, and so you have to be careful about that one. And as soon as I say that, Michaels is hitting the arm by the pitch, and so there's a runner on at first base. White Sox not getting any hits so far today, but they've had 2 walks by Porterfield, and then that hit by pitch. Floyd Baker up there now, and the count 2-0 on him, 2-1 as he fouls one back. It's hit down over to third base, and Brown has that one. Throws over to Coleman, covering the bag at second for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Hank Bauer up there. Bauer takes a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1 the count. That's a curve that he's out in front of. 0-2 the count quickly on Bauer. 1-2 as that was inside. There's a little pop-up over, just out of play. Wheeler unable to grab that one. 1-2 now the count on Bauer. That's hit over to left center field, and left fielder Zernial able to go over there for the catch. 1 away. That'll bring up Jerry Coleman, bottom of the 6th inning, 7-2 Yankees. Coleman takes the ball, 1-0 the count, and there's a strike. 1-1 the count now on Jerry. That's high. 2-1 now the count on Jerry Coleman, and that's wide. 3-1. Coleman hitting .330, hitting pretty well. 411 on-base percentage, 459 slugging percentage, and there's a ground ball down to Goldsberry at first base. He does it to the bag himself. Coleman now 2 for 4 today, and he's going to get another trip up, I'll tell you that. Here's Tommy Henrik, who takes the ball. 1-0 the count on Tommy, and that's high. 2-0 now the count on Henrik. A little ground ball over to Michaels at second, makes the play and throws to first for the out. We go to the top of the 7th, and Porterfield staying in there. Earl Rapp, his first victim, fouls one away, 0-1 the count. That's fouled off again. It's 0-2 now in wrap, and that's a curveball outside. 1-2 the count. 1-2 the count remains after that foul ball, and that's crushed but foul. 1-2. It remains up high. 2-2. It's a little pop up, and Brown has that one for the out. One away. It says Brown, the only guy on the left side of the infield, and this is an example of contextual play-by-play that doesn't make sense in 1949. That happens sometimes in Diamond Mine baseball. You got to be careful with that. Jerry Scala takes a ball and then a strike. 1-1 the count. Ground ball over to Coleman, the second baseman, who makes a great play on that one. Throws over to Henrik for the out. And it says grounded past Henrik. That Coleman must have been all the way over here, like really, really deep in the hole if that went past Henrik. That's some amazing range there by Jerry Coleman, 2 away. And here is Bill White. And there comes that pinch hitter. We knew it was coming. Dave Philly comes in. Dave Philly is a player I've used pretty frequently here with the White Sox. And you're wondering why he's not starting. Well, he's hitting 180. That's why he's not starting. 1-1 the count now on Dave. Slider on the inside corner. It's 1-2. It fouls that one off. Remains 1-2. The count does. 2-2 as that one was just inside. And there's a little ground ball down to Rizzuto. Makes the play and throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And it's Gene Woodling up there now against Billy Pierce. Billy Pierce, the relief pitcher, for the White Sox. Here comes Gene. And Pierce throws in there. His first pitch is down low for a ball. And then there's one just inside of Woodling. 2-0 the count. That's low. 3-0 the count now. And there's ball 4. So Pierce starts him off with 4 straight balls, and that will bring up Cliff Mapes. None of those were even remotely close. Mapes now 2 for 3 today. And we're going to have him go ahead and swing away, hitting .336, .504 slugging percentage. He's a good player. He hits a little ground ball down to Baker, though, at third base. He goes to Michaels for 1. There goes that relay throw to first base, and just not in time. So Mapes now the runner on at first. And here comes Yogi Berra. Berra, 6 home runs so far this year, and he lines that one straight back to Pierce at the pitcher, who puts his glove up in the air, says, thank you very much, and have a good day, sir. And so that does that, and there are 2 away now, and that will bring up the scooter Phil Rizzuto. And a little bit of sort of humorous and somewhat exciting play-by-play there. Another good example of Diamond Mine baseball play-by-play. As I always say, we love to collect those examples. 2 gone. Here's Phil Rizzuto. Fouls 1 away. 0-1 the count now on Phil, and that's off the play. 1-1 the count. That's well below the knees. 2-1 the count now on Rizzuto, and that's foul back. 2-2. And there's a throw to first base. Mapes isn't doing anything, just barely makes it back. That is inside. Full count now on Phil. That's fouled off. Full count remains on Rizzuto. And there's ball 4 just high, and Rizzuto walks once again. I think it's his second walk of the game, and that'll bring up Bobby Brown. So Pierce struggling with his control. 2 walks in this game. Bobby Brown is up now 1 for 3 today, which is a pretty good game for him. Brown's hitting 8th for a reason. Takes a strike. 0-1 the count. And there's one lined over the other way to left field for a base hit, and Mapes ends up scoring. We're going to hold Rizzuto over at second base with that ball right in front of him, and that will bring up Bob Porterfield. Of course, we're leaving him in the game. There's a high curve to him, 1-0 the count. There's a swing and a miss, 1-1 the count. As drilled down the first base line, that's going to be Goldsberry grabbing that one, runs over to the bag for the out himself. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Don Wheeler up there down by 6. 8-2 Yankees, and Wheeler takes the ball, 1-0 the count. There's a little ground ball wide to third base and into left field for a base hit. It's the first base hit the White Sox have had in what seems like ages, I think since the 2nd inning. Gus Zernial now takes a strike, 0-1 the count, and that's up high. 1-1 the count on Zernial. And 1-2, as that one was high and right at the mitt. And there's a good play by Porterfield, who stops that one from going up the gap, throws over to Coleman right behind him for 1 on to first for the double play. And that's a very, very good play there by the pitcher on what normally is a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. And so just like that, 1 pitch, 2 outs, and we've got 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning. And that's kind of, I've said this before, that's kind of the way that things have been so far this season for the White Sox. It's been a lot of plays like that from the opposition. Here is Goldsberry, takes the ball high, 1-0 the count. Somebody's going to tell me it's because I'm not hitting Don Wheeler third, but somebody's got to get on base. 2-1 the count to Goldsberry. And there's a great play over by Brown at third base, and he throws over to first, and he just didn't get enough on that one. That one ends up bouncing in there. They're not going to give him an error. That'll be a base hit for Goldsberry. And Brown making an excellent play, showing his range, preventing that one from being a double. Here is Luke Appling, who takes the ball. Runner on at first base, 8-2 Yankees, top of the eighth, 2 outs, 2-0 the count to Appling. There's a ground ball over to Rizzuto. The shortstop has that, flips over to Coleman at second for the out. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning, and it's Hank Bauer up there again. This is why you like to lead these guys off, because they come up there pretty frequently. He fouls one off, 0-1 the count. That's a ball in the dirt, 1-1. A swing and a miss at that one, 1-2 the count now on Bauer, and that one is just high. It's 2-2, and that's high. Full count now on Bauer, and Pierce has really been struggling with his control so far. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3 to Bauer, but Pierce, every time you turn around, he's going on a full count. Here is Jerry Coleman, who takes the ball and fouls one away. 1-1 the count now on Coleman. It's fouled into the stands. It's 1-2. And there's a slider that cuts outside. The count 2-2 as that one misses, and then Coleman takes that one for a ball. Full count now on him. It's hit up in the air into the seats. Full count remains, and there's a swing and a miss. And so Pierce now with 2 strikeouts here in this inning. That'll bring up Tommy Henrich. Henrich up there, 0 for 3, today. Did walk and has scored a run, takes a ball. And then a strike, 1-1 the count. And that one's fouled straight back. It's 1-2 now on Henrich, and that's hit over to shortstop. Appling has that one and goes over to first for the out. We go to the top of the ninth inning. I'm curious about Porterfield, and we're going to take a quick look here at the primary statistics. Now, he had 3 complete games in real life, none here in Diamond Mine so far. 3 complete games in real life means we're going to leave him in there. First pitch to Cass Michaels is a strike, and then Michaels ends up hitting a looping liner over to center field for a base hit. He's a runner on at first base, only hit number 6 given up by Porterfield. Here's Floyd Baker, who takes a ball, and then another one below the knees for a ball. 2-0 the count. There's a fastball in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Line drive over to second base, and that's through for a single, and that'll bring up Earl Rapp. Normally, I'd be a little bit worried, but not against the White Sox. Here's Rapp, who takes the ball low. 1-0 the count. There's another one outside. It's 2-0. Swing and a miss of that one. 2-1 now the count on Earl. There's a line drive shot into the hole, and it's going to be Rizzuto who knocks that one down, but he's unable to do anything with it. And so just like that, the White Sox have the bases loaded. Down by 6, though, 8-2. It's not quite time to look for a relief pitcher yet. Here's Jerry Scala. Now, if we were playing with the bullpen mode on, I would, but we're not going to do that. There's a ball in there to Scala. 1-0 the count. And there is that's trouble, and that's a little grounder down to Henrich at the right side, and he lets that one die, and that dies in fair territory, and that's an infield hit. It's an 8-3 ball game now, and here comes Billy Pierce. There's going to be a pinch hitter for Pierce. There must be. No pinch hitter for Pierce, so he stays in the ball game and takes a strike. 0-1 the count on Pierce. That's fouled away. It's 0-2. And he rips that one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for Pierce. So that's off the leg of the pitcher, and Porterfield has given up a number of hits here in this inning. White Sox suddenly have 10 hits in this ball game, and he can't get anybody out. So when in doubt, they say ROLAIDS spells relief, and that's going to be Joe Page, who comes on to be the Rolaids man. And Page, with 2 saves so far this season in a definite save situation, throws a ball, then a strike to Don Wheeler. 1-1 the count. Here's a ground ball over to Coleman. Coleman only plays at first base, and that allows another run to score. It is 8-5, and that'll bring up Gus Zernial. 8-5 now the score. 3 runs in for the White Sox in the top of the ninth. And this is the question, and this is where you wonder what you would do. Would you pitch to Zernial, or would you walk him? With Goldsberry up next, I think we probably want to walk him in this situation, just taking a quick look at what Goldsberry's been hitting. And then, of course, Luke Appling. Appling likely to make it on base. We probably want to go ahead and walk Zernial, and that's exactly what we'll do. And the intentional walk is there. Now, that puts the potential tying run on base. We'll see if we regret that or not. Here's Gordon Goldsberry. And there's a pinch hitter and a pinch runner. Bauer's in to run for Zernial, and Bud Shocock in there for in there to a pinch hit. Interesting choice. Let's see what happens. Sochak, of course, a little bit of power, not in this season so far, though. 0-2 is the count on Bud. And that's a line drive over to Brown, and he grabs that one and not quite able to double off Scala, but that's going to be out number 2, and that'll bring up Luke Appling. Here comes Luke, who takes a fastball outside. 1-0 the count. There's a fastball low. It's 2-0 now to Appling, and that's inside for a ball. 3-0 the count. 3-1 as that one just gets in there. And there's ball 4 too high, and Joe Page has walked in another run. It's an 8-6 ball game. Page with 2 walks here, the intentional walk, and that was an ugly walk to Appling. And that'll bring up Cass Michaels. Can Michaels do this? Yankees give up 4 runs here in the top of the 9th. They should have cruised to the victory here. Somebody tell me what I'm doing wrong. Cass Michaels comes up, and they've batted around in this inning, and swings and misses at 1-0 and won the count. That's down and in for a ball. It's 1-1. That's fouled straight back. 1-2 now the count on Michaels. It's fouled away. 1-2 the count remains. There's a drive to the right side in the gap, and that is through Mays and Bauer. And that's going to be a triple for Michaels. And this game has completely been turned on its head. That is incredible. I thought for certain that we weren't going to have anything worth talking about in this one, and all of a sudden this game has just completely turned around. Joe Page has completely fallen apart in this game. The Yankees now are down 9-8 here in the top of the 9th inning. White Sox have scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th, and I'm really starting to eat crow here. After all of my jabs at the White Sox and how this really isn't a good team, and it's not a great team, you can see that it's not a great team. They've scored 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and they've knocked 2 pitchers out of the box, and it's going to be Spec Shea coming in here for the Yankees. I don't want to waste another Allie Reynolds appearance because we want him to be able to start. There's a ball in there to Baker, 1-0 the count. Shea misses high, 2-0 now the count on Floyd Baker. Baker 2 for 4 today, fouls that one over to the left side, just out of play. I tell you, the White Sox had only 3 hits going into the 8th inning. They had 11 now. And that's a line drive up the middle, and Coleman ends up grabbing that one, throwing over to first for the out. That was off the glove of Shea as well. That's a tidy 1-4-3 out. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning, and here comes Gene Woodling, and it's a 9-8 ball game in favor of the White Sox. Here is Woodling. Takes the ball, 2 for 3 so far today. Another one high, 2-0 the count, and there's a strike in there, 2-1. Pierce still in this ball game, 2-2 the count now on Woodling. Pierce not only still in the ball game, they got away with it. That's the amazing thing. They got away with leaving him in because he got a base hit when he came up, 2-2 the count, and that's is called out looking. Sorry, I was about to say a swing and a miss. He didn't even swing at that one. One away, and here comes Cliff Mapes. Mapes is 2 for 4, 333 average, 411 on base percentage, and what does he do? He takes a strike. 0-1 the count on Cliff. 1-1 as he doesn't swing at that one. And there's a curveball high. 2-1 the count now on Mapes. That's inside for ball 3, 3-1. Pierce's control has not been great. There's a swing and a miss, and that makes the count full. Full count, pitch comes in. And there's the good off-speed pitch, and it's in there for a strike, and down goes Mapes. And now it's Yogi Berra. Last chance for the Yankees. Berra 0 for 4 today, but don't let that fool you. That 470 slugging percentage was saying hello along with his 6 home runs so far. And there's a ball low, 1-0 the count. That's grounded outside of first. 1-1 the count now on Berra. That one just misses. 2-1 is the count. Swing and a miss at that fastball. I tell you, Berra looked like he was looking for the bleachers with that one, and a big Babe Ruth type swing. There's a little blooper up there, and it's going to be Scala making that catch for the out, and the White Sox have done it. 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and the White Sox have done it, and you saw it here first. There's your ball game. Chicago 9, New York 8, and that means the Yankees are going to be down to only a single game lead, and it's really, really tight all of a sudden in the American League. How about that? I wasn't expecting that at all. I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll have another one for you tomorrow. We'll see if that one's as good. Talk to you later. Bye.